and gentlemen of internet world, this is J-Bo. We're going to go on another Woods Walk gun talk. This one will be Woods Walk gun talk number 20. So we're already up to 20. I'm not going to go in the usual entrance I use. I'm going to use the main entrance today. This is about the time of year that I see deer in here, so we'll hopefully see something meandering about. Probably going to be a few people here today, just simply because that's the way we usually go in. But simply because it's a beautiful day today. It's Saturday, June 1st. It is a nice day. Taking some trash from the side of the road off the road. I've done some walking to get here already, so I'm warmed up. This is the main entrance to Thorn Crag Nature Sanctuary, Stanton Bird Club. Open dawn to dusk. And as you can see, there's a deer crossing sign, and you do see plenty of deer around here. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. So we're going to head on inside. Excuse me, pollen is going crazy today. We are going to get some rain later this week, and like I said in previous walks, I'm not bothered too much by pollen. I may sneeze once or twice, but I'm not going to go on a sneezing fit with watering eyes and all that. But I am happy to be here today with you. Hope you enjoy. Well, we got a few cars. And we're starting to get that nice lush greenery that I like with the ferns. Insects will be active today. It's definitely tick season, so we will have to be wary of that. And if you've never come here before, we have this nice display, and we have a free little library. Take a book, leave a book. It looks like people are taking books and they're not leaving a book. So we have the flight of snow geese, environment, born free, endangered species, what wood is that? So this book here would describe to you different kinds of woods. Very interesting. So it's nice that they have that. It's a free library. I might grab that wood one on the way out and then donate a book my next time through here, which is what it's for. So we have this nice little walk over here that goes up to this gazebo. It is a very nice place here. It's free to the public, and it is owned by the Thorn Crag Bird Sanctuary. And we got this gazebo, which is nice. And one thing I'm learning from my videos is to turn my head more slowly when I look at things, because when you play it back, it's one of those things where I could easily see somebody going, "What was that? Pause it, go back," because I didn't stay on it long enough. So I have the camera mounted on my head today, so it's looking where I'm looking. And we are going to have a few mosquitoes today when we're underneath the canopies, especially through part that I'm going to walk, because the part I'm going to walk through is already getting bugs in my face. Is a spot where we're going to have mosquitoes, but they don't catch up with you if you keep walking. If you stop, they'll like flock to you. But if you keep walking, they don't do that. So this is Woods Walk, a gun talk number 20. And been seeing a lot of cool firearms on the internet. This is definitely, if you're into firearms, one of the best times in modern history to buy quality firearms. And you have different choices too, according to your politics. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of people that don't want to buy or support Turkish-made firearms because they consider Turkey an enemy of the United States. And there are a lot of things that could support that, but they're not this big, huge threat. And they do make firearms that are quality. And what I mean by that is these firearms are very well made with quality materials. They will last a long time, ranging from shotguns to handguns, whatever else. I have a few Turkish-made firearms. They've all been excellent. I also have one single Chinese-made shotgun. It's a Remington 870 clone security model, and it has been awesome. It's all worn now. I've shot it a lot, and but I have a personal boycott of China, and what I mean by that is to boycott as much as possible. It's difficult to boycott China because so much of their stuff is here. So, but I have made a conscious effort, if I'm going to buy shoes, for example, not to buy shoes made in China. I've opted for other places, usually Vietnam, which that's also a communist country, but they're not heavily influencing world politics and ruining a lot of American companies. So, and the simple truth about Turkish firearms is they're made for a lot less money, but they're good quality. So if you bought like a $500 Turkish-made firearm in the United States, if it was made here, it would be $700 or $800. And that's just a fact. People don't seem to have a problem with buying Taurus made in Brazil. And Brazil currently is oppressing their people pretty severely with far left extremism. So I guess this all comes down to your own personal point of view. I guess that's my point. I'll buy from Turkey, Brazil, and will not buy from China. So that's just personal preference. And I guess that's capitalism. That's, you know, you do things certain ways like that. I don't think we want to go this way. I think we want the red trail, actually. Hello. And we'll go down this way. But like I was saying with Turkey, they just make good firearms. I mean, I've been very impressed with the Chanik, which I guess is the correct pronunciation. The American one is Canik. I think they have actually accepted that. I think they actually, a representative mentioned that in a video. But when you're on the internet, you have to be 100% accurate with everything, or else people will let you hear about it. As I hear a mosquito buzzing around my ear. So I should have brought my walking stick today, but I found one. I took somebody's stick. They left it up against a tree and I took it. So finders keepers figured they didn't want it. So anyway, we have a lot of good stuff going on in these woods walks. And we are going to try to stay on the trails to avoid ticks. You go walking around in the brush and stuff like that, and that's where you pick up. That's where you pick them up. They hang out there waiting for deer. So anyway, my favorite Canik or Chanik that I like to shoot is my TP9 SA, I should say. Mine is a 2015, I believe. Version 1. It has the decocker on the top that people don't like. The newer ones have a decocker, but it's on one side instead of the other. They have them on different sides for whatever hand you are. The one I have has it on both sides, it's just on the top. And a lot of people don't like it because if you're in a one-handed struggle with somebody, you can actually decock it by accident. But with all striker fired pistols, if you push the nose a bit on your leg, about a 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch, it'll recock. And obviously don't want your finger on the trigger when you do that. If you're doing it against your leg while struggling with somebody, knowing me, I would do it against the person I'm struggling with, so then if it went off, I wouldn't care. Well, I would, but you know what I mean. The whole goal is to protect yourself in self-defense. So with that, I mean, we'll go on through this way. As you can see, it's a nice walk. Beautiful day today. So the TP9 SA, single action, what that means. And the SF from about the same time period is really good as well, which I believe is for Special Forces, I think. Whatever the case is, whatever it stands for, it's a fantastic pistol. My SA, I put a couple 2,000 round cases through it, steel case, as well as a bunch of other ammo. And I had read about it online, and there was a gun instruction school in a big city somewhere. He leaves them in service with his students for 50,000 rounds per pistol. That's how long it takes for them to finally wear out. And even then, they're still functioning and usable. So that is a damn good test. And in the self-defense classes, they're using full metal jacket. Standard, what you would call ball ammo. And they work well. I'm guessing I probably have 3,000, maybe even 4,000 rounds through it now. It might be less than 4,000. I don't count, you know. I do know there's at least 2 cases of 1,000 rounds. Most of them were shot through the Canic, and they were steel case. Wolf ammo, Tula, that sort of thing, which isn't the most barrel friendly. It's not as bad as the dramatic internet likes to make it to be. Studies have been done on that. They're basically hit or miss. There's no big dramatic difference, okay? That's the point I'm making. The core inside the bullet is not the best quality, and it's a more harder material, but that doesn't make contact with your barrel, so you get severe over-penetration with it if you shoot at something organic. But anyway, I have shot hollow points through it, good quality self-defense rounds, not so good quality hollow points. I have shot a whole bunch of stuff. And my brother has too, and the one he has the SF, I have the SA. They're comparable in quality. They're just a different style, and but they're similar. And he also has an SFX, which he got a white out, and quite honest with you, he doesn't really shoot it much. I don't think he really likes it very much. But the regular SA and SF is really nice pistols. They function, they're balanced, they got great grips. Haven't had to do anything to it. I like the sights that are on it. And very pleased with it. And that's one I sometimes carry. I trust it with my life. I've never had a malfunction with it. The only thing I've ever had happen to it that was odd had to do with a bad round. It blew the primer out, fire came out of the back, and it withstood that without the chamber blowing up. So that proved its quality to me right there. Then I just kept on shooting, everything was perfecto. And that was a steel case Wolf 9mm, if I remember correctly, Russian ammo. So, isn't that a cool tree? Try to get a shot of that. Go far up that goes. No bark on it, dead tree. We've had storms that took down all the other trees, and that one there just won't come down. Eventually, a storm will bring it down. Now, I'm probably not wearing the best shirt I could have chosen. I have a large neck opening on this one, so the back of my neck is exposed. So I'm gonna have to keep putting my hand back there once in a while if there's anything sucking my blood, because you usually don't notice them doing that until they're till they're full, and that's when you start feeling it. As I've said on past walks, anything that sucks blood has never been a good thing. Except when you can use leeches for medical treatments. You can actually look that up if you want to prevent infection, or like probably got the wrong name. I'm thinking of Jim Bridger. Anyway, he was an explorer. He got attacked by a grizzly bear, and I actually believe they made a movie about that. I got a soundtrack for it. I probably have the name wrong, but it was the character played by Leonardo DiCaprio. This guy got attacked by a grizzly, and it's based on a true story. It really happened. He got attacked by a grizzly, had nobody to help him. He was out there by himself. He had to survive, and he did. And some of the deep cuts and wounds he got from the bear claws were getting infected. So what he did was an old trick that they used to do that actually works, is he actually put live maggots in the wound. And the live maggots would start eating his flesh, but they would also eat the contaminated flesh that was causing the infection. And that actually worked. It saved his life. So there are instances like that where it was kind of like counterintuitive. We got somebody coming on the trail here. Who is it? Somebody in shorts with a stick. Well, I got a stick too. So we're gonna go through here. Try not to get eaten by mosquitoes. They're all over the place. We got a mosquito pit down here. It's all full of water.
Yeah, from who?
Hello. Hi.
They've made about that kind
Hi.
of thing.
How are you?
I'm good.
So we got mosquitoes, or mosquitoes as I call them, even though everybody else says mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. I don't really care what other people do. I think mosquitoes is a cute name for them. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato, mosquito, mosquito. How do you like me now? So anyway, the other Turkish firearm I have that I really like a lot is my Tokarev TX3 pump security shotgun. It's got a short barrel on it. It's compact. The stock has been shortened by the company that makes it. It was designed that way. Shortened about a 1/4 inch to make it one of the shortest stocked shotguns, so you could hold that really tight into your chest and have a good sight picture. Have no idea why other companies don't do that. And they also have a rail on it that has a ghost ring sight built into it, and kind of a fibrous front sight. Very excellent shotgun to shoot. So I'm going to go up this way. So it's a very excellent shotgun. Functions wonderfully. I did have a slight problem, and this is what you want to do, okay? If you own a pump shotgun that the bolt will lock up on you, and when you try to pump it, it just won't function, a gazillion times out of 10, it's going to be the bolt stop, the bolt lock gizmo that is riding on top of your bolt against the roof of your receiver. There's a little pocket that it sits in, and if that particular bolt lock piece that sits on top of the carriage is not polished nicely, it will lock up like that. It is a very common problem with a lot of these Turkish-made and foreign-made shotguns. So much so that we only own 4 foreign-made shotguns like that. And 2 of them had those problems. So that's 50-50 just in our household. So I'm just saying, if you take the time when you disassemble and remove the bolt and the pump assembly, the carriage, the bolt carriage, remove all of that out, you'll find that piece that sits on top. It's either going to be integrated into the pump system. You can still polish it. It still comes off the bolt. It has to be able to clean it. And sometimes it'll just be a separate metal piece like the Remington 870. And so just use due diligence. Don't use sandpaper. Don't use, you know, anything really extremely abrasive. You want to use a jeweler's polishing cloth, or anywhere between 2,000 and 4,000 grit polishing sandpaper, because it's not like regular sandpaper, it's for wet sanding. So what you want to do is cover the piece you're sanding with oil and then wet sand it with wet sanding paper. So that's a very easy way to fix that problem, and that'll fix most of those issues. And because basically what'll happen anyway over time is the shotgun will break in. It just takes more rounds than it should because they didn't do that fine polishing and finishing. So that's what happened with my Tokarev. And that's what happened with my brother's Citadel, I believe, the Marine model, which has nice chokes, nice trigger, everything's beautiful on it. It functions fine now because I took it apart and fixed it. But eventually it would have ironed itself out, but you would have had to have shot a few hundred rounds, and that really just should not be necessary. So if you want a tip, that's it. The other thing you can do with a new firearm is the same. I usually just use a jeweler's polishing cloth. You can find those online. If it is a firearm that's manufactured well to begin with, it's already been polished and it's good, but you can really slick it up even better, which simulates normal use by using a jeweler's polishing cloth. I have a few of them I purchased on eBay for $8, $9. They work wonderfully. They're made for jewelry. And if you have a piece of jewelry and you just rub this cloth on it repeatedly, the jewelry will get a nice glossy sheen to it and very highly polished. So that's why I use that. Mainly I bought it to polish guitar frets, because you don't want to use anything that damages the fretboard, and guitar frets generally, unless they've used steel frets or stainless steel frets, they use brass because they claim you get a warmer tone and this and that, but they don't last as long because they're brass. It's softer metal, but it's more like a brass alloy. It's not like pure brass. So anyway, does really great job with that, and you can use it on firearms. So the polished feed ramp on my pistols and stuff, I've polished with those, and I don't have any functionality issues with any of my firearms, not one single one. Closest one I would say that has a problem would be my GSG 1911. But, you know, I've had this discussion on here before. People will say, oh, it's ammo picky, like it's a bad thing. It just means that it's a semi-automatic pistol and you can't use cheap ammo. You know, I don't know why people buy cheap ammo and then they're upset when their firearm doesn't run it. It's cheap ammo. It's standard. You know, they function fine in most carbines. But handguns, you can't do that. You just can't. So people need to stop crying about it, and I hope I never hear the term ammo picky ever again. Firearms are not ammo picky. They're just not. Most ammo you buy works the way it's supposed to. So if your firearm is ammo picky, that's because there's something going on with your firearm. Some people like to spray oil directly into their chamber, thinking it lubricates things, which it doesn't. All that does is it creates a sludge from shooting. It gets hot. The oil burns off, and burned oil leaves a carbon residue. Covers your chamber, covers everything in there. It gets cooked on there, and then you get failure to feeds, failure to ejects. Your chamber should be clean. That's it. There's no need to spray oil in there. There's nothing in there you're going to lubricate that's going to do anything at all to help you and stop stovepipes and malfunctions. It's not going to happen. The only thing that matters is how your slide reciprocates and if your ejector is worn or not. Pretty much that's it. If you use weak ammo that's not suited for that gun, then it doesn't kick the slide back hard enough. And the reason why I say ammo picky shouldn't be used, because if you have ammo that has the, it's dark, almost like it's going to be a thunderstorm, but it's just leaf canopy. So if you have ammo that is inconsistent, it's going to cause problems. If you have ammo that's all 1100 to 1500 feet per second, your firearm, if that one brand runs your firearm fine, they all should. There's very, very little tolerance differences in case designs, the edge of the rim, that sort of thing. There's very, very little deviance. Most manufacturers will make it properly where it'll work and function. So if you're really having severe problems, especially if you have a new firearm, give it time to break in. Dry fire it at home. Rack it, dry fire it, rack it, break it in. And polish up your parts with a polishing cloth, like I was talking about. And magazines can cause a lot of problems. Bad magazines. So we've all seen people oil their magazines. Have no idea why that makes sense to anybody. For the same reason, anything that's oil is going to attract dust and dirt, grit, and stuff that'll prevent it from working properly. If anything, you should use some dry graphite lubricant. That would work well in that, because it's not moist. It doesn't attract grit and grime and stuff. But seriously, one of the most important things is to keep your chamber clean. Clean. That's always the best way to do that. So firearms only need lubrication on points of contact. That's it. Basically your slide, all right? Or if you got a bolt action, it's going to be your bolt. Not the bolt face and not the chamber, but the bolt itself. You just need a couple drops of oil on the bolt, depending on what make it is and all that. People go crazy with it. Now 1911s, that's a different story. And that is not inside the chamber and all that stuff. It is a lot of oil on the slide. the grooves because it's slotted down the whole length. It needs to be lubed well. Modern striker fire, you have like 2 points of contact on each side, usually. That's all you need to oil. It's designed that way because it was upgraded from the 1911 that you had to lubricate a lot. So you don't have to lubricate every firearm where it's dripping, soaking wet, because that's just attracting dirt. And then when you go shoot at a range that's outdoors like we do, every time you leave something out, it wouldn't seem like it, but you go to put it away, and guess what? It's got sand dust all over everything. Inside the cases, if you forget to leave your case open. And so you need to think about what you're using and use common sense. You know, if you're introducing something into your firearm that's going to have dirt and stuff stick to it, or something where the oil is going to burn, smoke. Well, when you clean your firearm, you see what burnt oil looks like. It's like this thick black, you know, it's even worse with black powder, obviously. So, but black powder is a whole different thing. It's not really a petroleum-based lubricant. But the point being, it's a nasty business, basically. You're not helping your firearm's functionality by doing that. So, a lot of people spend too much time on their triggers too. Oh, the trigger, the pull. How does it work for you? Do you like a 5-pound pull? If you do, then a 5-pound pull is not a bad thing. If you're a competition shooter and you want that 1.5 to 2-pound pull, well, then it's something important to you. Most people, when they go to the range, if they have a 2-pound trigger pull, they're shooting the damn thing by accident, unintentionally, because it's a hair trigger. So, you know, depends on who you are, what you're doing, what you're using it for. For me personally, I like between 4 and 5 pounds, whether it's a rifle or a handgun. I got a couple of handguns that are a lot lighter than that, and that's fine because I like that. They are handguns I shoot with one hand, and I move from target to target quickly, and I like having that hair trigger on those. Speaking of my 1873 Cattleman, a U-Birdie, and 357, shoots 38 special. You get some 38 specials in there, or wad cutters. That hair trigger and getting shots on target quickly is such a good feeling. It's really an awesome thing. I like it a lot. And now 1911, I like to shoot with one hand more than I like shooting with 2 hands. And it was actually designed to do just that. It was designed to be shot with one hand in combat. So you don't stand there with a proper grip. You know, all the internet is full of proper grips, you know, holding this the right way. And it was a pistol to be shot with one hand. And when they did shoot it with 2 hands, the old videos had the hand cupped underneath the grip hand. It wasn't on the firearm at all, because that was just easier to do crouched over in combat, not to give your position away. So anyway, we'll get some people up here, so I'll just walk around the whale. I knew there would be people here today, so we'll go down this way. I think I'll come back up over the top. So this is where that tree fell over here, and you still get the bottom parts of the stumps attached, but they did cut everything up over here. So we'll go down this way. And we got all the power lines that head down that way. Pretty much, I believe these will run all the way up to Canada. The mosquitoes are out today, so we got to keep moving. A lot of mosquitoes this time of year. Now later in the summer, when it gets really hot, there'll be less of them. I think the mosquitoes are hungry. I don't want to get eaten. Wow. This looks exactly like a spot that would not be mosquito hungry. They're everywhere. Oh, we'll come down through here. Hi. And we'll go on back the way we came. And we'll head back up this way. Wow. That area there was very thick with mosquitoes. And not so much over here. So we'll head down here. And we'll head up the hill. We'll head up this way. All right. Very nice walk today. I want to get these walks in now because we're going to get some rain later this week. Midweek, towards the end of it. Keep having to adjust my earpiece. I keep smacking myself in the ear because I hear bugs trying to get on me. All these spots where they have a thick canopy, there's no sun that gets down here sufficiently enough to keep the bugs away. And they come out to eat. They just tripped on a log. I don't like wearing repellent. I don't like spraying chemicals on me. If we've learned anything, companies don't care about the people that buy their products. And I don't trust the government agencies enough to verify that something is safe. I just don't. Not anymore. So, hard to believe that this is that same steep hill in the wintertime where you could see across everything, and now it's all grown in. It looks completely different, except for this rock still here. Still comfortable today. Kind of a dry, cool air. Mid to upper 70s. But comfortable. Do not stop walking. If you do, you will be eaten alive. So the T-Sash 1911, imported by SDS Imports, made in Turkey. One of my favorite 1911s. World War II, government model, tribute. And 45 ACP, government 70 internals. They make a couple, 3 different versions of it. They make a tanker one with a shorter barrel. I've never tried that one. I like the full size. I believe they make a commander one also. And I've got no bad things to say about it. Thousands of rounds through it. Still going strong. Feels like it will for many years to come. Another Turkish-made masterpiece. Love 'em or hate 'em. Excuse me. Very steep hill. I'm here for the workout and I'm getting it. All right. Now the other thing I want to talk about, is gun safety. It's something that is very important, and unfortunately a lot of people get complacent in it because they get comfortable. That can be forgetting a round in the firearm, accidentally pointing it at someone, whether it's loaded or not. So if you're at the range with anybody who is talking and nonchalantly the muzzle keeps going pointed towards you, you need to say something about it, always. Never mind the fear of offending somebody, because that's people's natural reaction. I did not do that. So Fortunately, the person I shoot with the most doesn't do that. So, but I did have to say something recently with somebody I was shooting with, and they were standing next to me, and the barrel of their pistol was pointed right at my forehead, and I didn't like it. I didn't get angry about it. I just made sure they knew they did that, and that was the end of it, because they know they shouldn't do that. So, on top of that, it was an old vintage firearm that I would not trust that way anyway. So, whew, there's some sweat dripping down my eyebrow. Doesn't feel like it's that hot today, but I'm getting a good workout. So I'm going to take a quick look for any ticks that might have jumped on me. I don't see anything. I'm wearing knee-high socks, and I'm wearing a baseball shirt. Not a jersey, but you know, one of those 3/4 sleeve baseball shirts. Got most of my arms covered anyway. So anyway, the T-Sash 1911 has a government 70 series internals. So pretty much all standard government 70 government model full-size 1911 parts are interchangeable and will fit, because the Turks made it from the original plans. And the only complaint I've seen people online have with them, and also the 1911 I saw that was a 9mm, but the beaver tail on them is not finely polished, and when you're shooting it, it cuts up your hand right where you would get hammer bite. Now, I've seen quite a few videos online where the guy said it has hammer bite. No, it doesn't. It's not what it is. It's just a rough edge of metal that rubs on your skin every time you fire it. And again, the said jewelry polishing cloth remedied that on mine very quickly. I also on mine, because it's a World War II government clone, they look good when they're worn out and stuff. So I took a 3M green scrub pad to the beaver tail, just on the edges only, and then I polished that up with the jewelry polishing cloth, and it looks like it's always been there that way. It looks pretty cool actually, because the rest of the pistol now is all worn naturally like that. Has natural patina, and it's a beautiful pistol, fun to shoot, as we can see from this place to sit on here, which I'm not going to sit. We used to be able to see the mountains in the distance and stuff, and now that's all covered with leaves. But you can get a general idea how beautiful this is in the fall. So we will be coming back here when everything is all red, orange, and yellow. It will be beautiful. So generally speaking, we got a nice day today. And I'm at the point now where I come here so often that I know where the trails are. I know where everything is. And In fact, we're going to head down this way. And it's a nice place. A lot of people come here. I'm going to cut across over this way and head down towards the little pond. We'll be further upstream from it, but we'll walk by it. I want to see if the frogs hatched. Saw a video online, somebody in Maine, they got some video, their frogs have hatched. So I don't know what happens to the eggs they were in, if it just looks like they're not hatched after they hatch. I don't know how that works. I'm not a frog expert. Bugs! We got this low-lying swampy area. Mosquito farm. They were kind enough to put a feeding bench here for mosquitoes. Don't think I've ever seen anybody sitting on it. Maybe in the fall. This time of year, I doubt it. So basically what I'm trying to do is to see how many miles I can walk through here, walking on the trails. So I'm going to head down to the left over here. Head down the yellow trail. We'll follow the yellow brick road. Gone 3 miles. I'm going to take a left over here. I'm going to head on up that hill. I want to see what I'm not going to hang around here too long because of mosquitoes. Oh. Those look like they're still there. gotta look that up online and see how long those frog eggs take to hatch, because I'm having a feeling that they hatched, but they kind of like leave their cocoon carcass behind or something like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, because there was some here. Yeah, those look like, yeah, those hatched. There's still some that look active and some that hatch, so I'm wondering if they have like a percentage that just don't hatch. They don't take, as it were. Or they're just not ripe yet. Late bloomers. Because I can see them, they're still there. So I'm gonna have to look that up. So we're gonna head up. I can see them. I can physically see the pollywogs. Yeah, there's a whole ton of pollywogs in there. They were just born not long ago. So, might also be breed specific. So that answers my question. I was glad to see the pollywogs. They're out pollywogging. Would like to hit at least 4 miles in here. Should be able to do that. Bugs. We'll come out up here at the rock fireplace. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
So maybe we should go down the blue trail over here. Because that's the way out. I'm not ready to go yet. We'll go down this a ways. You may remember this is oftentimes this is the way I come in. Check my mileage. 3.2 miles. I'll get 0.8 of a more mile through here, and then I'll head out, I guess, and stop recording. All right, a new battery. We'll see if it does like it did yesterday stop recording after 30 seconds, then I'll have to restart it. I'll end up just rebooting the whole thing. Well, we'll see if it stays on. It doesn't always do it. In fact, it doesn't do it very often. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. I'm getting a nice collection of walking sticks now. This one's kind of a stubby fat one, but it's a solid piece of wood. And these little bugs that they want to eat the sweat on my forehead. Salt. You've heard me mention that a bunch of times. Salt isn't something that's easily found in the environment for a lot of animals, and it's something they need. And I mean, they get it naturally from foods and stuff. But you'll see a lot of live cams now with animals online. They will have these salt blocks. They put these blocks of salt out there, and the animals will just sit there for quite a while licking that, getting their salt they need. So hope you're enjoying the walk today. I am. I always enjoy this. It's a way to get away from people and things and some relaxation. Plus you get some exercise. Plus you get to see nature. Everybody likes nature. They don't like getting eaten by mosquitoes, but this whole place isn't bad. Right here it's normal. So we'll head down this ways. This is usually that incline that really gives me a good workout, but I'm going down it this time. Take the smart way. That was the first one of those that bothered me. Black fly. Those are something you're going to have in Maine, especially in July and August. Black flies, they're friggin' terrible. If you're in an area that has a lot of them, black fly bites, in my opinion, are worse than mosquito ones. And they're flies. They move quick. A lot of people have said Maine should replace the state bird from the chickadee to the black fly. I might agree with that. So my shirt is soaked with sweat on the back, which is good. I'm getting a good workout. What did I scare through here? I caused something to make a stir. So I'm going to do about another half mile in here. And then I'm going to scoot off. Scoot off into the sunset. Now these here were cut more recently. They haven't had sap ooze out of them yet. That one has, so that's been cut a while ago. So it looks like they're periodically working on things through here. Really thought there'd be more people here today. It's a nice day. It's not hot yet. I mean, it's warm, but it's not miserable, humid heat like we are going to get at some point. Still don't have the ACs in the windows yet. Like I said on the last walk, we don't have central air. Don't really need that in Maine, in an old house. Put in a window unit upstairs where it gets the hottest. Downstairs, a lot of times you can just get away with opening windows. Not during the day when it's hot. But, alright, we'll walk down here and circle the pond. I like to go around this little mosquito swamp. I'm not going to spend much time in here for obvious reasons. Blood-sucking, thirsty little sons of bees. I don't see any pollywogs down here. Boy, really got a lot of miles out of these boots. Very happy with these Nortiv 8. Made in Vietnam. Very happy with the quality of these. Comfortable and they last. I've worn them to... Whew. Oh look, right in front of us, 2 ducks. The baby duck is just starting to get its adult colors. And the other duck is just sitting there. Looks like the little bird, baby bird's preening itself. They look very friendly. They're not afraid of me. We've seen ducks in here before. You know, this is a new set of ducks. And it's obviously on the left. We get the mama duck, and then we get the baby duck that's just getting out of its brown baby colors. Just starting to get the wingtip colors. So pretty soon, mama duck will leave that one all by itself. And it'll go out and be a duck and make another duck with another duck. And the cycle will continue. How high do birds fly? Real question is, how many mosquitoes can I have buzzing around my head at one time? So this is the way typically that we come in here. Oh, I'm gonna get walking again because these bugs are looking me up. I've managed to not get bit yet. You gotta keep moving with these things, I'm serious. They have a hard time biting you if you keep moving. It's one thing I've learned. And as always, I hope you've enjoyed this walk. There are a lot of animals. And we do have those log benches out here, which are made for some kids to come out here with their teacher. I wish they actually had 3 or 4 more places like that through here for them. Behind McMahon School in Lewiston, they have a nice classroom bench and table out there, and a little natural rock outcropping with woods behind, with a nice view down a cliff for the teacher to stand out there and teach from there. And I think that's really good. I would have enjoyed that when I was a kid. That is a tree making that noise. I think it's that dead one right there. That is not stable. From storms we had. I mean, I was really surprised at how many trees fell down out here. I really was. So now we're going to head down towards the podium, the gazebo. Just about done walking for today's video anyway. This has been Woods Walk a Gun Talk number 20. Walking with J-Bo. I hope you've enjoyed it. Get some more people coming here. A couple of elderly people. That's cool. Very good exercise for older people. How are ya?
Cool in the woods.
Hi, how are you? It's nice. A lot of mosquitoes today.
Are they biting?
Trying to.
No black flies?
I had 2. I noticed a couple.
Yeah, last time I was here they were landing on him, but they weren't biting.
Yeah, I didn't get bit by any, but they were checking me out for sure. It's black fly season. So this here is the Welcome to Thorn Craig gizmo built. Now that I'm out in the sun, a lot of the bugs are gonna lose interest in me. I don't like the sun. So when you come here, you have maps, you have information, little pamphlets about the place. There's a lost and found. You got a map of the layout, how to support the bird club, which is the Stanton Bird Club. And this is the Thorn Craig Bird Sanctuary. They have other places that belong to them. And it's a very nice place. It says no dogs, but sometimes you do see dogs in here. So personally, I don't like that unless they're leashed. It's when people take them off the leash and just let them run free out in the woods and stuff. That's never a good thing. So I really hope you enjoyed the walk today. You found it enjoyable. And I really do enjoy this. I'm going to take a walk through the parking lot here. Let's see what that looks like if you're a new watcher. And I am going to grab a What Wood Is That book. And the next time I come here, I am going to bring a book. So we got family activities in here. They have ideas in there that you can come here and do things like scavenger hunts. I imagine this would be a really good place to do an Easter egg hunt with kids, I would think. I don't think anybody would mind that, especially in early spring, because you don't have the ticks out yet. You don't have all that stuff. And, you know, if you got Easter eggs that can't be found, I mean, there's wildlife here that will eat eggs. So, hi. So, we're going to walk around the parking lot here. A lot of people showing up now to go walking, which is nice. It's kind of a utility shed here with there's stuff that they have in here. I don't know what they have. Maybe chainsaws and tools and things like that. Shovels, maybe an axe or two. I don't know. To maintain the woods. They can just show up in their pickup truck, unlock that, and a lot of times you'll see ATV trails, tire tracks through here. And people go through on ATVs to do maintenance and cut up logs. They have a kind of a cart you pull behind you and you can load up with logs that you cut. So this is the parking area. Anybody can just show up here and park. Dawn to dusk. At dusk it's closed. It's trespassing after dark. It's posted. The police do drive through here once in a while, because people come here after dark to do nefarious things that they shouldn't be doing, whether it's drugs or sexual stuff and whatever else. Walmart in Auburn had a problem for a while with they had a problem with prostitutes using their parking lot, and you could always tell because you'd go shopping and you could see the sexual paraphernalia left in the parking lot that people threw away because they're disgusting, and they don't want that here, obviously. Do what you want at home. Don't do it here. So now we're going to walk on. We're going to walk out of the place. This is the only main entrance to drive in. On the back side there's another entranceway, but you have to park at the end of a road outside of a reservoir, the East Avenue Reservoir. So you can come in from that side. I've noticed a lot of college students come in from that way. They park over there, and rather than coming over here. It's just conveniently closer to where they go to school. And if you're not from around here, it's easier to find that other side too. So anyway, this was the Thorn Crag Nature Sanctuary, Stanton Bird Club. Open dawn to dusk. So clearly stated open dawn till dusk. And it does say that this area is under surveillance at all times. I don't know about that. I do know it looks like it has a sensor. So I think when you pass through here, it might activate a trail cam or some kind of camera. I've never seen a camera in here physically. It just says that there is surveillance. So don't know what kind of surveillance they would have. But anyway, this is it. Hope you enjoyed it. And you know, support your local places like this, and remember, don't throw your trash around inside. Whatever you bring in, bring it out with you. So I hope you enjoyed that, and until the next Woods Walk Gun Talk, this was Woods Walk Gun Talk number 20. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day, rest of weekend, and I gotta finish my walking, but this will conclude my recording portion of it. So thank you very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.